Dayu Biik Noreta Sireye Chimenenge Pod Meleri Wichitalu Dayu Biik
They film together standing tell about the beautiful encounter between Dayu Biik or Ouaré, represented by the indigenous Kanak people of the New Caledonia and Réunion, or Baobab, represented by the indigenous Malagasy people in Madagascar. The goal is to exchange and share respective wealth in the natural, cultural, and artistic domains, and even social free sports, a concrete workshop for sharing and exchanging ideas on creation, the expansion and management of protected areas, was organized among representatives of the local Kanak, Malagasy, Comoran communities. Located within the Francophone family account, agricultural and artistic residences have allowed to form a group merging the cultures of these two indigenous people in the region. Arrived in the tribe at someone's place, we should introduce ourselves and say hello. It is the custom to make the gesture of saying hello, who serve as the request for forgiveness and authorization to enter the tribe or even the welcome structure. All our gestures of sharing. The gesture we perform here comes from the Kanak, the indigenous people, New Caledonia of Melanesian. Dear friends from New Caledonia, thank you for honoring this moment or this cultural symbol. Mr. President of EKM, Mr. Secretary General, the head of the delegation from New Caledonia, distinguished members of various communities, cultural associations, and environmental preservation associations. Dear friends, dear brothers, I would say hello in Kanak. I thank you for meditating and participating in the opening ceremony of this sharing workshop and exchange of experience. Congratulations on the establishment of the Protected Areas Agency. During this experience sharing workshop in the management of protected areas with local communities, the Foundation of Protected Areas, the Biodiversity of Madagascar, USAID, or the United States Agency for International Development, the civil society platforms of Mihaavo and the Alliance for Gas presented their structure and their mission, aiming to assist and support the local community in the creation of the extension and the management of their protected area. I think that it's a good opportunity to gather here, especially seeking to ensure the local community in their role in conservation. It is up to them to take charge of the conservation of their protected area in collaboration with local authorities, based on the experiences that took place among three countries. There are New Caledonia, Madagascar, and Comoros. We had the opportunity to present Comoros here. We observed that most of the time, there is always an emptiness between the community and the summit of the state, Among the things we have managed to achieve here, it is to study how to involve the local community so that the local community can truly take ownership of the conservation and protection of their environment. And we have observed that there are already institutes existing next to the New Caledonia. It's something already well established with a connection up to the summit of the state. They have even succeeded in establishing a customary senate, thus facilitating this exchange. The emptiness is that on the Malagasy and Comoran side, we face the same issue. What we observed here in Madagascar as, for example, the existence of VOE, and they have already been able to trace a path to the summit of the state. But on the local community side, up to VOA, there is a gap. So we will ensure that we can truly create a connection in order to fill this gap, so that the community can truly have a place. It's the same situation as in Comoros. In Comoros, there is the National Agency for Protected Areas, with the congestion committees established in the protected areas. So I believe that there is still a gap between the community and these institutions. So it's among the work that we've truly managed to succeed in during this workshop. So I hope that it's a new opportunity we must plan, and the fact of meeting here is just a beginning. So we will appeal to the authorities in our states to truly support this process, which is only marking the true beginning of, how should I put it? We are trying to establish the foundation of initiative to ensure that culture truly has a place in environmental conservation. So I may end up making an appeal regarding cooperation among the three countries. We certainly hope that it's something that will expand at the regional level until other countries join this platform. We are engaged in exchange with our Malagasy and Comoran brothers. The Dayu Biik Association did not come alone, but also with the Ouaré Association, the cultural center of Hienghène, from where we can, from far away to share, bring what we have as experience or knowledge. It's the environmental management part we're going to. We especially focus on sharing about the cultural aspect, because the cultural aspect is important for environmental management. In New Caledonia, we work extensively with the local population and traditional authorities, what we call traditional authority or traditional chiefs, who are taken into account in consultations regarding special and protected area management, and especially the action we undertake there. They are coordinated because it's important. We have advice from the elders who are there, and we listen to them. We share or work with them about the Council of Elders. We have a district council. We also have a customary council, another customary advisor, and the customary senate. At the governmental level, we have an advisor for each of the three provinces in New Caledonia, which is composed of three provinces. There is a connection between the customary leaders in the tribe and the government, which represent the highest level of all decision makers. We managed to bring about change and highlight the cultural. We showcase our traditions through this customary network. This customary network is important globally today. We are starting to take into account the indigenous people, recognizing their presence, because there are people living there, and their species belong to them. The forests, rivers, they are interconnected. The cultural draws its strength from the environment. Cultural and the environment are inseparable. We, as humans, indigenous people, we need this forest. We need to preserve this space. And for us, During this week, we shared here at Hienghène with our Cameroon and Malagasy brothers. We were able to share that through culture, there is an observation that we preserve our environment because it's important. To preserve it and maintain our culture, we need spaces for transmission. This week serves as a space for transmission. In that next realm, we have another space for transmission. There is an exchange between the indigenous people and the Malagasy people, and the Kanak people, the indigenous people of Kanake. What we can take away from this week is that we are all the same. We are brothers. The importance of culture must be taken into account at all levels. Whether among ourselves, the people of the tribe, or with all governments, decision makers. It is important to consider cultural minorities and listen to them, be attentive to their needs. In conclusion, I make an appeal to the Malagasy people. We need to unify the Malagasy people. We must be united like the baobab or the kauri of Kanake. A visit to some protected areas in Madagascar, as explained in the program, directions toward the South Pole of Madagascar, over 9,000 kilometers of road traveled, crossing beautiful, unique, and authentic landscape from one region to another, exploring the stepped regions in the volcanic region of Vankinankarach, the tapir forest path in the Mornimani region, the Astwell silk producing caterpillar and an excellent raw material for weaving noble fabrics with cultural value for the Malagasy people, and the local community protects and values this relic forest. The Anja Village Natural Reserve is a haven of peace for the lemur maki, endemic animal of Madagascar. In inhabit the lunar landscape formed by blocks of granite rocks, where the summit is often considered taboo, resting place of the soul of their sister. The new protected area of Ivohiboro in the Huny region, managed by local communities, is a fragment of humid forest in the midst of the international savanna, a shelter of biodiversity. This protected area is located east of Yus, approximately 18 kilometers on the dirt road, departing from the famous Rancet. Researchers also found a rare species of lemur they are called the mouse lemur. It is the smallest lemur species in terms of size, weighing less than 70 grams as adults. Mouse lemurs are nocturnal animals that feed on fruits, insects, and especially flower nectar found in the forests. The new protected area of Tsinjoarivo including Thorny Forest in the limestone plateau and mangrove along the coast, where the pink flame tree thrives. Its sacred cave of Sarjan is nestled between the sea and Thorny Forest, crossing the imaginary line of the Tropic of Capricorn. Three Grand South and Madagascar expedition concluded at the turtle village in Mangily-Ifaty, situated 14 kilometers north of Chilior. Sunrise discouraged in the southern provinces and the largest land. The turtle village is nestled in the spiny forest, surrounded by typically southern Madagascar baobabs. This vegetative formation, known as Gîte, is the natural habitat of endemic terrestrial species such as the radiated tortoise and the unique spider. The turtle in this center were seized as a result of illegal trafficking by the competent authorities and they will be released into secure protected areas managed by the local population, similar to the new protected area of Tsinjoarivo.
Comme ça, t'as l'arrière. Quand t'as l'arrière.
The meeting of Dayu Biik from New Caledonia and Rainforest from Madagascar translated into a cultural and artistic residency from a group formed by artisans, Kanak artists, and Malagasy artisans. Do you know that the Melanesians are among the ancestors of the Malagasy people? During the residency, the group discovered some very common. Culturally, between these two people, through the artistic work accomplished. It's really fascinating to see the two painters creating artwork together and placing their signatures. It sounds like they've known each other for a very long time. In fact, I drew this eye to envision looking far into the distant lands that make up New Caledonia, serving as a bridge connecting the cultures of these two countries, Madagascar and New Caledonia.
With shape, colors, and brushstroke on the canvas. Well, I see the image, the shapes and colors on the canvas. It brings ideas to my mind. It gives me the idea to create a drawing.
The Kanak is enjoying a Malagasy-style breakfast, which values every morning. They appreciate it a lot. Even more impressively, the actors, musicians, dancers, and the singers incorporate both indigenous languages into their performances. During the presentation at the Aircalin and the Grand Hall of the Cinema Plaza for the show in the capital, it's a Kanak song about the Kana, which was sung by the group and played by the group's musicians. The Kanak also showcased their traditional dance accompanied by Malagasy rhythms during the introduction. Madagascar has 18 ethnic groups spread across the entire island, each with its own traditional dances. The Malagasy group showcased a dance from the Ambondrobe ethnic group in the southern region of the island, and one from the Meyer ethnic group in the highlands of Madagascar. Everyone is invited to dance, as each is a pillows dance, which is a traditional Kanak dance. Culturally, it symbolizes sharing encounters, collective joy, and also the scene of farewell. Ultimately, it reflects a true cultural and spiritual communion between the two people, becoming one united and harmonious community. It was the union between the Dayu Biik, coming from afar, and the Rainforest. The first week allowed the sports educators from Hienghène to participate in training sessions, from beginners to the senior team in both different locations, including a small field in the middle of the 67-hectare neighborhood for the title ones, and the conventional field 15 kilometers west of the capital Ambatotsarotse, where the older players train.
Je suis éducateur d'une école de foot du collège de Hienghene.
I am an educator at a college football school in Hienghene. We came to Madagascar for sports exchanges with the 67 team. Our aim is to be partners here to ensure a lasting collaboration. Feel free to reach out for future project opportunities.
De se contacter pour des projets.
The second and last week, a training session for Malagasy coaches was organized by 67 CTFC and led by the former coach of the women's team of the Olympique de Lyon, Jean-Luc Vasseur. The title was at the high-level football encounter. Ultimately, this beautiful encounter between Dayu Biik and Rainforest presents a shared vision, namely, protected areas harboring a unique natural wealth must be managed by local communities. The cultural and artistic residence is a beautiful demonstration of cultural richness and diversity, radiating the Francophone world. Empowerment and social inclusion of youth through its globally popular sport, football. We hope that this noble and innovative initiative is sustainable and strengthen cooperation among countries in the large Francophone family.
Hienghène